What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the trading world. Today is September 8th, 2025. It was a no news Monday, and we're going to be covering the market in detail, covering all kinds of real trades you can take in the NASDAQ futures market to make real money. So, if you guys like this type of content, definitely consider subscribing, leaving a like, following me on X, and also checking out my completely free Discord. The link to that is in my bio. So, let's go ahead and talk about price action today. We essentially, on the higher time frame, have been in this giant buy model. So we had S&T with this low. That was previous week's low. And I'm going to actually pull up an image of this real quick, so that way it doesn't take me forever to pull it up. So here is the higher time frame buy model, right? So if you guys don't know what a buy model is, it's like basically we push down into a key level. It was a 4-hour gap. We get S&T at the low, confirming that this is the bottom of a buy model. And then we expand higher. We actually get a 12-hour inversion fair value gap. We push back down into it, get another SMT. So going into the day, it was very possible to have a bullish bias to target low resistance highs off to the left. Jumping down to the lower time frame, we had an amazing SMT with midnight, guys. And when we have SMT with obvious accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, and the SMT goes below midnight. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, essentially midnight is a key time level you want to have on your chart as a reference point to determine where we manipulate, right? If we dip below midnight and get SMT, this is going to give you amazing bias for the entire day to trade the opposite direction. So we get SMT with London low, we dip below midnight. It's very obvious that this was a whole entire range, right? What's happening right here? Everyone from this range is getting stopped out at this low, and the SMT confirms that. And it's also below midnight, which is another confirmation that that is the case. So what happens? Liquidity sweep, break of structure. What is this? This is our 2022 gap. And then you can see how every single gap supports price to go higher. That's how you can tell these markets are algorithmic. If they weren't algorithmic, it would just look like it would make no sense. But because we get obvious purge of a low, this is a manipulation move. And then we get a clear displacement higher, retracement to a gap, and then another gap, and another gap. That's how you can tell the market is moving algorithmically and not randomly, right? And then here you can see this is the case here, right? Every single gap along the right side of the curve here supports price. So once we get this SMT with midnight, pay attention to all these gaps. You could even take low time frame changes to deliveries off of them if you want to, right? These are going to be, or you can even just enter as a 2022 model with your stop loss at the most recent low, right? And the way you could do that is like this. I had this marked out as flow state, but this was also a 2022 model. So if you guys don't know what the 2022 model is, essentially it is we range, we sweep out the low, we break structure, we return back to the midpoint of the move that breaks structure, right? The midpoint of the move that breaks structure, around that midpoint is going to be the gap that you're looking to enter at. Sometimes it can be above. It doesn't always have to be exact, but for the most part, you're going to usually see the gap around the midpoint of this displacement. Like I said, it's not always perfect, but here it is, which is kind of cool, right? We get a liquidity sweep, we break this high, come down to the gap around the midpoint of this displacement. We have obvious generated highs above, so you can see this was a sniper entry to go long, and then bang, right? I like this standard deviation above this low resistance liquidity, so that's why I have that marked out there, right? Important to note, we were below both of our true opens. We're below 730, and we were below midnight. Very, very cool. Oh, and then as well, it was a flow state trade. We had a 15-minute gap. Once again, SMT with the low, and then we get 1 minute change in state, and then we expand higher. Another way you could have gotten in on this move is simply we had a nice change in state of delivery here. There's lots of different change in state deliveries all through here. With having this SMT with midnight, you can honestly take any of these change in state deliveries using common sense, where because once again, once you determine, okay, this was accumulation, this was manipulation, now your job is just get on side with the distribution. And so change state delivery works completely fine. So here's, once again, sometimes you have to have conviction to hold these. It's not always easy, but guys, when you have SMT with midnight, I'm telling you, that is going to give you so much conviction. Like, I have this image here of Thor's hammer because it's literally like, when you have SMT with midnight, it's like an unstoppable force in your direction. A lot of the time, you don't even need to go break even. Like, this could have been break even for you, but didn't have to be, because you could have just held because of conviction, because you had SMT with midnight. And you just say, I'm going all in, because guess what? SMT with midnight, baby, right? And those are going to be, it's just crazy how high probability those trades end up being, especially when it's obvious accumulation, manipulation of the low, change in state, and then you can see we go up to that 4th standard deviation. Pretty cool. Now, guys, I actually had one of the best trades I've had in a long time, and I'm pretty happy about it. It's like 4 or 5R. I did take a loss before it, but it was only 1 loss, and then this had this absolutely amazing trade. I'm gonna go break this down in detail and show you exactly how I took it. So just to show you guys the execution, right? It was this trade here, and it's crazy because I outlined all the way back here. I outlined that we were possibly going to manipulate this low off this side of the screen that you can't see, and then get a change of state delivery off of this gap. I outlined that before it even happened, which is just crazy. I'd go watch my live stream back. I can't pull it up right now because it's going to take too long, but look at this, guys. This is just beautiful. We have the first presented for value gap. We had an SMT. So all I did is I said, okay, this is very obvious accumulation. This is very obvious manipulation. When we get change state delivery off the first presented for value gap on the aligned time frame, which for me, I either align the 5-second or the 15-second with the first presented for value gap. And then I call this the first strike model. It's a model that I discovered, not created because I don't create anything, right? I just observe. The market shows me, okay, this is something that happens a lot, right? We'll react off the first presented for value gap. How can you get in on it? Well, you take the aligned time frame change of state, right? So I took that up to those low resistance highs, and the rest was history. This was like 4.5 to 1, and just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. It's going to be short today, but yeah, it wasn't No News Monday, so nothing crazy. Sorry if I've been kind of spazzy this video, but it's like, I don't know, just get overwhelmed because I like try and get everything done, and it feels like I never have time. And I'd rather just make the videos and get them out than not make them, right? I think it's more important to just make them, even if they're not perfect. I'd rather have consistency. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful, and let's keep going one day at a time. Till next time, peace out.